Alright, so when McFarlane got the DC license, I was a little concerned. I was sitting there going, God, I hope he just doesn't make the same 12 characters that everybody keeps making. Batman, Superman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman. You know where I'm going with that. If you're gonna make those same characters, at least put them in a different costume. Give me a version of that character that I don't already have. And they are your moneymaker, so of course you have to make Batman and Superman. If you're gonna make figures like that, or Wonder Woman, or anybody like that, make them better than the ones that I already have. Give me a reason to go out there and get a new Superman, a new Batman. And with these DC figures, or any figures for that matter, everybody's making these premium action figures that cost about $100 each. And I'm guilty. I get those on occasion. I'm trying to bring that back a little bit and buy less and less. So when Storm Collectibles made that Lobo and that Bane, I think they're doing a Dark Side and a Doomsday, they're $100 each. I definitely wanted to pull the trigger on it until I saw McFarlane do something like this for $20. And I'm sitting there going, him getting the DC license, is he going to do a really nice Lobo, a really nice Bane, a really nice Dark Side, Doomsday? After looking at these, well, I didn't pull the trigger on the Storm Collectibles. I'm going to hold out and wait. He just got the license. Is he going to get to something like that? I'm pretty sure he will. Let's check these out for now.
It's not the first time I've seen the side of you. I'm through, and now you're walking on such a thin line, and I'm about to lose my nerve when all of this has cost me so much. Now leaving in the dust everything we had, you threw it away, and I have wasted too much love.
So before I pull out some comparisons, let's talk about these real quick. You have the Green Arrow down here. I have tons of Green Arrows. I've only seen this thing in the shelves one time. Either they're not making enough or everybody really wanted another Green Arrow. Then you have Harley Quinn. Once again, I've only seen her once in the stores, so I don't know, was everybody itching for a classic Harley Quinn in a 7-inch scale? Either they are, or she is just extremely underproduced because I've only seen her in the stores once. On this Batman figure, once again, I've seen him one time in the store, and that was the one time I bought him. I absolutely love that. That's action figure perfection. The only thing that he could improve on it for me is the 2 pins in his knees. And then you have the armored Superman. So he's given us versions of characters that we've never gotten before. That's what makes it exciting to collect. When you can put something totally new on your shelf and you're like, God, I've got one of these in my collection. I bought every one ever made, and this one is totally original. Same with the Batman. I love these 2 toys. They really stand out. Like that makes it exciting. While we're talking about the Superman, let's go ahead and take a quick look at him. I know that I'm really late to get this review out, so I'm not going to go over the articulation. I'm sure you've seen it all before. We will go how good it looks, because on the ab crunch, that looks absolutely perfection. Also turns at the waist, has a pin here on the single jointed elbows, which I prefer personally because it's 1 pin instead of 2 pins. And then you still got plenty of movement on that, which I guess I'll go a little bit over the articulation on it. It has like the butterfly joint on the shoulders here done really clean. Like if you're going to do all this extra articulation, I think he's killing the articulation game. I think this is an area where he is really shining. From a guy that said that he doesn't want to do articulation because he wants to keep him clean, looking like art. Well, he's kind of doing the best of both worlds here because the articulation is coming across so clean. He does have the 2 big clunky pins on the knees, which I personally don't like. I know a lot of you guys it doesn't bother, but me it does. He also killed it how it comes together on the thighs. This is where another joint that he usually shines on. He does a toe articulation, which doesn't even need to, but if you're going to do it that clean, I appreciate it. Like a tiny little pinhole. That's how it's supposed to be done. This figure is absolutely amazing. The wings, you can take them off on. You can move them if you want. I really like that. Kind of looks like an old Shogun warrior. I never thought I wanted another armored Superman, but apparently I do because I love this figure. And then you have this. Cool. I love it. I love all the different colors of black, the flat, the gloss. I love how that bat sticks out. Just that he's doing like flat colors. Man, that's everything. It does not like that cheap, weird, shiny plastic that's almost transparent, that looks like marbled. You know who I'm talking about. You don't see any of that here. It looks like a quality action figure. This thing is truly amazing. Like, look at like the gunmetal like brushing on that. I love it. Like, I mean, he's doing these figures, and it's like actually getting it exciting to collect. If you can even find this thing on the shelf, you have to go on like I saw him on Amazon for like $20, but then you got to pay shipping and stuff. Unless you could bundle it, get that and the Superman. I love it. It has wing articulation. I think the wings are good, great. I love this thing. On these two, I'm gonna pull out some comparisons. All right, then you have this Harley Quinn. And for comparisons, I went ahead and pulled out the DC collectible Batman animated Harley Quinn. And then over here, I pulled out the DC collectible 7-inch version of Harley Quinn. So if you're doing a 7-inch scale, Harley Quinn probably shouldn't be 7 inches tall, because then if Batman and everybody else is 7 inches tall, I really don't want my Harley Quinn as big as my Batman. If you look over here, this is a 7-inch scale, so she's slightly bigger than 6 inches, which kind of works for me if you're doing a 7-inch scale. This is on a 6-inch scale, so she's like 5 to 5.25 inches tall, which works perfectly in a 6-inch scale. The scale thing, that's definitely where he has room for improvement. If you just want a really good Harley Quinn standalone all by herself, then this is definitely going to hit the mark. She comes with all the accessories that you need. The only thing that they could have thrown in, which is kind of a big throw-in, was the hyenas. That's definitely nice whenever you can put those things in your collection. You get the bang gun, a pop gun would have been cool. This is equally cool, this one or the pop gun. You get the mallet with the smiley face on one side and then the target on the other. Also cool, the articulation on this thing. I love how they do the thighs. I love the waist articulation. I love the ab crunch. I love how clean this is. The double jointed elbows, which is the thing that a lot of you guys want. I'm just not a real big fan of it. They hide the ball on the wrist with that. They could hide the ball on this. I know there's better ways to do ankle articulation. That ball, I'm just not really a big fan of that thing. Toe articulation, nice added little touch. She looks amazing. It's just a scale issue for me. If you're just going to get an action figure of Harley Quinn, you don't have anything to scale her with, she's going to look great on your shelf. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled out a few extra Green Arrows for a comparison with the McFarlane Green Arrow, just for you can kind of see the difference between the two. Yes, this is a totally different costume than any of these other ones, so if you're a really big Green Arrow fan and you have to have every costume, this figure is an absolute must for you. The thing I like about these other Green Arrows is that the bow actually has a real string, which I love, and the arrow is separate, which I also love. So you got tons of different ways you can display them, versus when they do this and they put the arrow in the bow, they pull it back. That's pretty much your only option as far as displaying them, if you're going to display them with the bow. And then the arrows, come on, Todd, you're better than this. Like, is this the same guy that made the Batman Who Laughs? Like, the action figure looks amazing. I expect a little bit more than this on a Green Arrow figure. He looks good. He's going to look great on the shelf just from... It's hard to believe that the guy who made that giant armored Batman and the giant armored Superman did this bow and these arrows. The figure looks good. I don't really know what to tell you. Like, if you're an Arrow fan, you need every version, then you got to get this one too. He looks good. Just, God, he really blew it on the bow. That's it. Thanks for watching.
Awake in the bed.